Here's your wrestling news for November 1st, 2025. Your headlines for today include Seth Rollins finally opens up about torn rotator cuff surgery and WWE return timeline. Ricky Saints admits WWE stars still look down on him after AEW run opens up on harsh WWE locker room treatment. Chelsea Green issues US title challenge to Giulia, fans spot hidden WWE hint. Wyatt 6 take over SmackDown backstage, fans furious over no in-ring appearance. Did WWE give away Elton Prince's release during SmackDown segment? Jade Cargill trends after botching final line in her first WWE heel promo. Did Nick Aldis accidentally hint Tiffany Stratton will lose at Saturday night's main event? Nia Jax falls short again against overwhelming babyface numbers. WWE adds major stipulation to Cody Rhodes vs. Drew McIntyre world title match, and more. Seth Rollins may be out of the WWE ring, but he's still showing up where fans least expect him, this time dressed as a mascot and dropping major injury news live on television. The former WWE World Heavyweight Champion appeared on the October 31st Halloween episode of Good Morning Football dressed as Stanley the Bear, the Chicago Bears' official mascot. After surprising the hosts by revealing himself under the suit, Rollins finally addressed his injury and recovery timeline. During the live segment, Rollins, wearing a sling on his left arm, confirmed he's going to be sidelined for a while following surgery for his torn rotator cuff. "Wish I could rip this thing off, man, but I'm out, guys. I'm out. 6 months," Rollins said, revealing just how long he expects to be away from in-ring action. He didn't shy away from venting his frustration about the situation, even jokingly blaming co-host Kyle Brandt for jinxing him earlier in the year. "You put this juju into the universe, it's on you. It's all on you," Rollins said, before adding that his WWE World Heavyweight Championship is now going to be worn by some schmuck, either Jey Uso or CM Punk. Rollins' 6-month recovery timeline means he's unlikely to return before WrestleMania 42, leaving a major hole in WWE's main event picture. Ricky Saints isn't holding back about the chip on his shoulder after leaving AEW and becoming NXT champion. During his recent appearance on Busted Open Radio, the rising WWE star admitted that despite his success, he still feels like certain people in the industry don't see him as an equal, including some within WWE itself. The conversation turned to whether he still feels motivated by critics and fans who doubted him after his AEW departure. Saints revealed that the fire he brings on the microphone and in the ring comes from a real place of frustration that still lingers to this day. "Even to this day, I still have a chip on my shoulder, and it's not just from one thing. You can pull the reaction from AEW fans to here and vice versa, but it's even beyond that. Even, I'm sitting across the table from an athlete who looks at me differently, as if he's better than me, as if, he has somehow had a step above me based off of what I've done outside of these four walls." He went even deeper, explaining that this type of attitude follows him everywhere, from daily interactions to training at the Performance Center. "Those types of feelings I still harbor because it's true, and it still is something that I'm dealing with every day when I go to the PC or, when I'm talking to someone. The fact is, I don't want anyone to ever look at me as less than and then treat me that way, so I'm always fighting for those things." Saints' honesty shows that his fight for respect isn't over, even as the face of NXT. He's worked his way from AEW and the independents to WWE Gold, but it sounds like Saints' battle for validation behind the scenes continues to fuel his fire. His comments, however, drew mixed reactions from wrestling fans. Some pointed to the old saying, "If you're not making enemies in a wrestling locker room, you're not making money." Many felt he needs to realize that in WWE, everyone's fighting for the top spot, and when opportunity knocks, most won't hesitate to step over anyone in their way to seize it. Fans also added that not being shown respect, especially if you've come from a rival promotion, is completely normal, regardless of how talented you are, because WWE's locker room culture is built on earning your place all over again. What do you think of Ricky Saints' comments about feeling judged in WWE after his AEW run? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. SmackDown news next is Carmelo Hayes scored a victory over Kit Wilson, but not without controversy. The finish came after The Miz interfered, attempting to cost Hayes the match. Despite the distraction, Hayes managed to regroup and pull off the win, though some fans believe the result could have packed a bigger punch had Wilson taken the victory instead. Many felt that allowing Wilson to win, especially due to The Miz's interference, would have generated massive heel heat for the A-lister, further solidifying his role as one of WWE's most manipulative villains. Still, The Miz ensured the spotlight remained on him afterward, laying out Hayes with a skull-crushing finale post-match and keeping his momentum alive as a top heel on SmackDown. The result now leaves fans wondering where this storyline goes from here. Will Hayes ultimately get his revenge and defeat The Miz in their eventual showdown? Or could WWE be building toward a larger, long-term rivalry between the two? Meanwhile, Kit Wilson's singles run continues in the absence of his tag team partner Elton Prince of Pretty Deadly. Prince has been sidelined with an injury since the June 20th, 2025 episode of SmackDown, and his last match took place on May 2nd, 2025, when he and Wilson lost to Axiom and Nathan Frazer. During commentary, Corey Graves drew attention to the situation, remarking that the Yes Boy days might be old news, a comment that immediately raised eyebrows among fans. The line hinted at possible uncertainty surrounding Pretty Deadly's future, and, more importantly, Elton Prince's status in WWE. Shortly after Graves' remarks, fans online began speculating that WWE may have quietly released Elton Prince, especially given the company's recent wave of talent cuts. As of now, however, there are conflicting reports about his contract status and no confirmed timeline for his return. With Kit Wilson now carving out a solo path, the question remains, is this just a temporary singles run until Prince returns, or has WWE decided to move forward with Wilson on his own? What do you think? Will Pretty Deadly reunite once Elton Prince is cleared to return, or has WWE quietly shifted plans to establish Kit Wilson as a single star? Share your thoughts in the comments below. It appears Nikki Cross is finally getting that long-awaited push, and tonight's show may have just confirmed it. During the broadcast, Chelsea Green was announced to face Giulia next week for the Women's United States Championship, but all eyes were on the background, where Nikki Cross was seen silently lurking, still covered in the dried blood from her chaotic AAA appearance. The eerie visual has fans buzzing, with many speculating that this could be the start of Nikki's rise into the US Championship picture. Meanwhile, the rest of the Wyatt Six continue to make their presence felt in subtle but ominous ways throughout the night. Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis were spotted standing in the shadows behind the Motor City Machine Guns as they spoke with Solo Sikoa, while Eric Rowan made a brief but chilling appearance behind Tala Tonga and the MFTs during a segment where Rey Fenix issued a challenge to Tonga for next week's show. Later in the night, after the MFTs defeated the Motor City Machine Guns, Fenix came out once again, only to be quickly overwhelmed and left laid out. Shinsuke Nakamura rushed in to even the odds but was also taken down as the chaos spread with no sign of the Wyatt Six entering the arena. However, the group did make their presence known earlier in the day in a very different way. WWE's official YouTube channel released an exclusive video showing the Wyatt Six visiting Halloween Horror Nights, where they explored the horrors of the Wyatt Six haunted house. The footage provided a rare behind-the-scenes look at the faction outside of their dark personas, including emotional moments featuring Eric Rowan alongside Jason Baker, the special effects artist who worked closely with Bray Wyatt on the iconic Firefly Funhouse. The video struck a hauntingly personal tone, blending eerie nostalgia with real emotion, a reminder of how much Wyatt's creative vision continues to influence the group's presentation today. If you haven't seen it yet, it's definitely worth checking out on WWE's official YouTube channel, a touching tribute to both the past and the evolving legacy of the Wyatt Six. Tiffany Stratton made her presence felt in a big way tonight, storming out unannounced and visibly furious after last week's shocking heel turn by Jade Cargill. The usually composed champion was clearly shaken, demanding answers and vowing payback for what happened. Moments later, SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis stepped in to restore order, reminding both women that there were to be no physical contact before their official clash at Saturday night's main event. Seconds later, Jade Cargill's music hit, and the tension spiked as the two rivals locked eyes while security rushed to separate them. With WWE stressing that Tiffany was not at her 100% and Jade carrying massive momentum after her heel turn, all signs suggest a title change could be imminent when they meet tomorrow night. All that said, one unexpected moment from the segment quickly went viral. During her promo, Jade Cargill accidentally botched her line, saying tomorrow at Saturday night's main event, Taffy time is up, instead of her intended Tiffy time. The slip instantly blew up on social media, with Taffy time trending across platforms as fans joked about the misstep while still praising the intensity of the segment. Despite the lighthearted moment online, the tension between both women is anything but funny. Stratton looks determined to defend her title at any cost, while Cargill is out to prove her dominance and solidify her new persona as one of WWE's most dangerous rising stars. So what do you think? Will Jade Cargill ride her momentum to victory and begin her reign as champion, or will Tiffany Stratton overcome her injury and prove that Tiffy time isn't over yet? Share your thoughts and predictions below. Jade Cargill made quite the impression with her double-inspired look last night. She arrived backstage dressed as the Punisher, continuing her ongoing streak of Marvel-inspired outfits. However, when the show went live, she switched things up, appearing in full Catwoman gear, channeling Michelle Pfeiffer's iconic look from Batman Returns. It was a bold, attention-grabbing statement that perfectly matched her larger-than-life persona. This week's SmackDown delivered a hard-hitting and fast-paced US title match as Ilja Dragunov put his championship on the line in an open challenge, one that was surprisingly answered by Nathan Frazer. Before the bell could even ring, however, Tommaso Ciampa made his way to the ring, cutting off the moment and claiming Frazer didn't deserve the opportunity. Dragunov wasn't having it. The Mad Dragon told Ciampa to take a walk, which he did, though a little too easily, leaving fans sensing that the confrontation might not be over. Once the match got underway, Frazer tried to take advantage early, opening with a running knee, but Dragunov fired back immediately, cornering him with a barrage of vicious chops that set the tone for what was to come. The encounter felt fresh from the start, despite crossing paths twice before, once in NXT UK in 2022 and again in NXT in 2023. This was the first time the two had faced off on the main roster, and they made the most of the spotlight. Though the crowd started quiet, the energy steadily built as the action picked up. Both men brought intensity and speed, mixing high-flying counters with brutal strikes, creating an engaging, physical contest. Frazer nearly pulled off the upset with a Phoenix Splash, but Dragunov kicked out and rallied back to secure a clean victory, retaining his US Championship in style. After the bell, Dragunov offered a sign of respect to his opponent, though Frazer's chest, red and raw from Dragunov's strikes, told the story of the punishment he endured. But the post-match chaos was just getting started. Tommaso Ciampa returned to attack Frazer, which set off a chain reaction backstage. During the commercial break, Johnny Gargano and Axiom all got involved, turning the situation into an all-out brawl. Order was eventually restored by Dragunov himself, only for Tama Tonga to make his intentions clear, stepping up and calling his shot for the United States Championship. With Dragunov standing tall but surrounded by new challengers, the road ahead looks unpredictable. Would you like to see Tama Tonga challenge Ilja Dragunov next for the US title? Or should Tommaso Ciampa get the next shot after his interference? Share your thoughts below. Who deserves the next opportunity at the Gold? Former partners and tag team champions became opponents on Friday when Alexa Bliss faced Nia Jax. The match played out like a classic David versus Goliath battle. Jax dominated with her power, while Bliss relied on speed and resilience to stay in the fight. Jax nearly secured the win with a Samoan drop, but Bliss managed to kick out at 2. The turning point came when Charlotte Flair caused a distraction, allowing Bliss to knock Jax off the middle rope and steal the victory with a quick pin. Earlier in the night, Bliss and Charlotte were seen backstage discussing the Kabuki Warriors and Nia Jax. During the exchange, Charlotte dropped several Bray Wyatt references, saying she doesn't usually let people in, but she made an exception for Bliss. She also claimed that Nia Jax still lives in fear and that she's not healed. The subtle nods to Bray on Halloween made for a nostalgic moment that longtime fans appreciated. Where do you see this feud heading next? Could Alexa and Charlotte's alliance last, or are we on the verge of another betrayal? The show closed with an intense contract signing between Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, overseen by Nick Aldis, who was there to maintain order. McIntyre initially refused to sign, turning to walk away before luring Cody into a trap. Rhodes stopped him, urging Drew to sit down, saying he knew exactly what McIntyre wanted. Aldis then confirmed a major stipulation: if Cody gets disqualified, counted out, or breaks any rules during their match tomorrow, he will lose the WWE Championship. McIntyre eventually signed the contract and declared himself the true American Dream, claiming he was the blueprint for everything Cody has achieved in his journey to finishing the story. Cody fired back, pointing out that when he had enough of WWE, he had the courage to walk away, while Drew was fired. The tension escalated when McIntyre crossed the line by mentioning Cody's children, sending Rhodes into a rage. Cody grabbed his title and nearly struck Drew, but doing so tomorrow would cost him everything under the new stipulation. McIntyre stood tall to end the show, holding the upper hand heading into their high-stakes clash. Do you think Drew McIntyre will finally dethrone Cody Rhodes and reclaim the WWE Championship, or will Cody find a way to overcome the odds once again? That wraps up today's coverage, guys. How would you rate last night's SmackDown? Did it live up to your expectations, or did it fall short in some areas? With Saturday night's main event just around the corner, excitement is definitely building, but the question is, who do you think walks out victorious when the dust settles? Share your thoughts, predictions, and match picks in the comments below. We want to hear what you're most looking forward to this weekend. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.